Hello everyone and welcome to day 2 of the week, upper body strength and conditioning, pause, work, replay style. As per usual, we're going to start off with, of course, talking about the equipment you need, which today will be a chair, a bench, an ottoman, something along those lines. Underneath there I have my 8-pound dumbbells, my loop bands, we have our nice exercise mat, and then we also will want our supportive footwear specifically towards the end for our conditioning work. Okay, so we're going to start off with a warm-up. As you know, we are doing this warm-up together, and it starts with you. Palms facing the floor, straight arms swinging out those arms, alternating which one goes up, which one goes down. We're doing 20 of them, but the nice part is about these follow-along warm-ups is that you don't necessarily need to count. You can just swing those arms and switch when I tell you to switch. So we're trying to keep our chest up nice and high. You can keep those arms as straight as possible, getting all that blood flowing, joints moving through our shoulders. 20 of them, we have 5 more to go. Again, palms are going to stay down the entire time, and we are going to keep them down as we make this T position with our hands, starting to draw these small circles. We're doing 10 of them in one direction. So we'll reach those fingertips away from the body to help elongate that T position 10 times, keeping them little one way. So we'll stop and go the other way now for 10 more circles, which should start to get that burning sensation brewing in the shoulders. Mine are starting to feel. Hopefully yours are too. If they're not, they will in the next one. We're going to relax our arms down by our sides. Start going in that first direction again, but this time we'll make these circles as big as they can go, and we're going to take 5 of them each way. So we won't worry too much about the palms. We'll just try to open up those arms, getting that nice big rotation 5 times one way. Last one, and then we will go 5 times the other way. Once again, trying to warm up the shoulders. That's the goal here. Next one, as we finish up these 5 circles, is down the floor. So you can come on down into your all-4 position where we are going to thread our needle, getting that mid-back, upper back warmed up, woken up. We'll take one hand, reach through and under, following that palm with our eyeballs, spreading the upper back as we open up, exhaling. We'll squeeze those shoulder blades together, trying to, again, follow the hand with the eyes so that we have that nice big rotation through our shoulders. But we want to keep the legs, the hips from moving so that there's no rotation in the legs. 5 on each side with that nice straight arm. So we'll get these last 2 here, and spreading the shoulders, exhale, squeezing them together. Last one. Exhaling, and then we will switch and do the other side. So same thing over here. Might feel a little tighter, a little looser on each side, as we know that's quite normal for our bodies to have one side that is a bit tighter than the other, or maybe looser. But we'll try it again to keep it as even as possible, and again, limit that movement in the lower body, in the legs. So we'll go through 5 over here. Finishing up this one, we are going to stay down here in this all-4 position, working with that scapular retraction and protraction. So we're trying to squeeze and spread the shoulders apart. The whole time, we're keeping them down away from the ears, trying to, again, get as much movement through our upper back as possible without arching or rounding our back. We want to keep the movement between the shoulder blades. So there and back is 1. We're doing this 10 times total. We have 5 more to go. You started with me here. And again, we'll breathe through these ones, inhaling as we pull them together, exhaling as we spread them apart, trying to make that motion bigger and bigger every single rep that we go through. So we'll get this last one here. And then we are standing back up to the top. We're going to go through, once again, some of our arm swings, which are going to help us just loosen up all that stuff that we did. We have one more warm-up movement to go here, and it is for our wrists, because today is Tuesday, which we are going to be starting off the session with some push-ups. So we want to make sure that our wrists are nice and mobile, ready to push our bodies off the floor through our push-ups. So we'll make a fist in the hands, as you can see here, rotating those circles, moving efficiently, not taking too much time, but we are feeling the stretch through our forearms, around the wrists. We're doing 10 rotations one way. Again, you can just follow along, and then we'll stop. That was 10 for me, and we will go through 10 in the other direction. Okay, so are you ready for this? Because we are going to get you started on the pause, work, part of today's session, or parts, I should say. We have 3 supersets that we are going to be working through today. Starting off with this first one, we're going to talk about it, explain it, and then you are going to hit pause, do your prescribed amount of reps and sets as per usual, and then come on back in here, press play, listen to the next part. 3 parts to the strength, and then we have our conditioning work, which you will need your interval timer set up for. Hopefully you have that downloaded, ready to go, and we'll talk about that when we get there, of course. So let's talk about this first movement, which is going to be a push-up shoulder tap variation. Now last week, we sort of combined those two. We did the push-up into the shoulder tap. What we're going to do today is complete 1 full body push-up and then 1, 2 shoulder taps. That will complete 1 rep, and we are doing 8 of them total. So let's get down here before we start our first official set. I wanted to show you how that's going to look. Again, if you want to follow along with me, practice, or you can just stand and watch me and just worry about your working sets, that's okay. Push-up position, a little bit wider than the shoulders. Nice, strong, full body push-up. We go down to 90 degrees. Exhale, push up, and then we go 1, 2, back into that push-up position. You need to sort of reset the hands, that's okay. And you will do that 8 times total, my friends. We are going to superset this. So we have a pairing exercise with it, in which we will need our bands. So I'm going to loop my 2 loop bands here to create that nice long band. And we have a pull apart going on. 12 reps total is the number to beat for these ones, where we're trying to, again, get that shoulder blade squeeze going on every time we pull that band apart. So we're working back to back between these 2, taking no rest, little to no rest in between. So I'll get those push-ups done. Again, the push-up all the way to the top, tap, tap, that's 1 rep. We're doing 8 of them. And then we go right into these band pulls, 12. But you already knew that because I just said it. Okay, go get it done, and I will see you back here for part 2. All right. Welcome back. Welcome, welcome. We are here for part 2, which is going to require our bench, our chair. We're combining 2 opposing muscle groups. We have a 1-arm row, which is going to be working our back muscles, and a dip, which is going to be working our triceps and our chest muscles. So we're going to follow that same style of taking little to no rest in between these 2, starting off with these rows. I'm always double checking here. 12 reps total with a 2-second pause at every single one of those reps. So for me, I'm going to be taking both of my dumbbells because I have my 8-pounders and they're not that heavy, especially for such a strong exercise like a 1-arm row. So I'm going to double them up like this. If you have various dumbbells, you can just simply grab heavier one, maybe 15, 20, 25 pounds. We're going to pull up and in around the rib cage so our arm does not touch our body, and hold for 1, 2 seconds at the top, releasing that, feeling that stretch, allowing the shoulder to move, and then exhaling, pulling up 1, 2 seconds at the top. That is our reps, and we are doing, again, 12 of them per side. For those of us who don't have bench or chair, what you can do is get yourself into your nice bent over position, nice posture. Take this hand, put it on your legs so that you get that similar support for your core and low back that we're getting from having that knee up on that bench and chair. The other way we can do this as well is using our loop bands looped underneath our foot. So if you don't have access to dumbbells, that is a great way to add resistance to your rows, because we need resistance in order to work those back muscles, okay? So that's our first one, 12 reps total on each side, and then we're going right into our dips. So I'm gonna have C on my chair, sort of sit on my thumbs, tuck my arms in, squeeze my shoulder blades together, lowering down to 90 degrees, and then exhale, pushing up to the top. Same amount of reps. We have 12 reps total. Now for these ones, if we want to make them harder, we know that straighter legs is harder, bent legs is easier. So you can play around with somewhere in there that is challenging but manageable for you to get 12 reps total. If you are still looking to increase the intensity of these, we can add that slow lowering or eccentric phase in. So every time we lower down, we'll take a little bit more time than our normal 2 seconds to get down to the bottom, and that will make them feel a lot harder. For those of us who, again, don't have bench or chair, you probably have a wall, since you're hopefully in your home, not someone else's. Maybe you are, that's okay. We can do our wall tricep extension, and all of those same rules apply, 12 reps total. Okay, so that's you. go get it done, and I will see you back here for part 3 and the last part to our upper body strength. Let's get it. Okay, hello my friends. Welcome back. We are going to part 3 of our upper body strength. Starting off with our first movement, this bench or chair. We're gonna move that bad boy out of the way as we will not need it because we have our wide grip rotational rows taking us into the beginning of our last superset. So we'll work through these ones, starting off with our dumbbells, preferably in our hands, holding them so that our palms are facing our legs, narrow grip in our feet, soft knees. We're going to hinge the hips back so we're in our nice strong bent over position. Then right away we're going to pull our hands apart so they're sitting wider than our shoulders. Rowing in those weights and rotating the hands so that the palms are facing the ribs at the top. And we're creating that 90-degree angle in our arms and our elbows. So we're going through these ones. Your reps to be are 15. So we're working with 15 reps total. Again, trying to pull the dumbbells apart and then add that rotating row in through our 12 reps total. So that's our first one there. Although I didn't mention it, hopefully presumed, you can always use your TRX if you have it. Set it up, use it for this part here, especially because of that nice rotation. TRX is a great option. You can also, again, set up your band or hold a band sideways in your hands and go through your rows with that if you do not have access to dumbbells. With this one, we have a tricep focused movement. We're doing our overhead tricep extension. So what I'm going to do is be using one of my dumbbells here, holding it like this, pushing it up over my head, and I'm going to kneel just so you guys can see what's happening over my head here, up and over, dropping back to 90 degrees, and then exhale and pressing up over my head. Now, if my weights were a little bit lighter, if you're feeling yourself and you're feeling capable, you can hold one weight in each hand, and then you can lower down single dumbbells rather than holding one sideways like so. But that's up to you and how you're feeling and what options you have for your dumbbells. We're doing 12 to 15, so you have a range. You can stop at 12, you can go up to 15, and same deal with the rest. We're not going to take any. You're going back to back between these two, little to no rest in between, and then you are completing 4 rounds total. And there's the doorbell. Okay, so go get that done, and I will see you back here for our last and final part, which is going to be our conditioning work. Here we go. Lexi, come here. All right. Okay, welcome back, my friends, and here we are for our final round, or our final part, I should say. We have 3 exercises that you are going to be working off of a timer. So if you have your interval timer set up, that is the best way, so it can start and stop you on that beep. 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. So we're going to be working for 45 seconds, resting for 15. Same thing, if you want to sort of follow along with me here, practice these movements before you officially press start on that timer, you can go ahead and do that, or you can just watch, and that's okay too. We do not need any equipment, so we're going to go ahead and move our dumbbells, our bands, as well as our bench and our chair out of our way, because we will need space more than anything else. Starting off with our first movement is going to be a blast off push-up. So we're down on the floor in our push-up position, working with this blast off, where we drop our hips back behind us, coming back and forward, completing a push-up, exhaling as we go through these reps, and this is going to be us for 45 seconds. For those of us who are feeling quite tired, because you know you already did those push-ups at the beginning, you can always work with your lowering negative push-up, where we lower ourselves down, use the knees on the way up, and then reset onto the toes, rather than going through that full-on push-up between each of those blast-offs, or otherwise known as bear squats, sometimes we call those. So that's going to be our first exercise. And you'll be doing that for 45 seconds, and then you'll have 15 seconds to sort of regroup a little bit before you go into your second movement, which is going to be our lateral split jumps with a nice lunge jump on each side. So we'll be working through these split jumps all the way over to one side of our mat, and then 1, 2 lunge jumps is going to happen on each side. If you have more space, you can do, more split jumps. If you have less space, then you can just do less split jumps. Depends on how much room you have in the room that you are working out in. So that's our second one. Last and final one is going to be a little athletic burpee combination. Hands are going to go down on the floor. We're going to jump ourselves out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump ourselves in, and then jump for joy at the top because we're so happy to be doing these variations of burpees. And that is going to be you for the last exercise. Again, if you're low impact, we're going to step. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then step. Raising the roof at the top between each rep, 45 seconds, okay? So that is you guys. You will be completing 4 sets total of that circuit there. So you got to get to work so that you can get that done, so that you can be done. There is one more final part that you can come on back here and join me with after you finish that, and after you cool down, which is the stretching. So press pause, go get it done, and I will meet you back here for that quick stretch that we have at the end here. There we go. All right, welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you're feeling good, although I know you're probably not feeling the best after doing that, but you're gonna feel great after you rest, recover a little bit, which you should have already done, rather. If you still feel really hot and heavy, like you cannot hold down a conversation or answer a question, then take a little bit more time before you go into these stretches. We have an upper body focused stretch, as well as a little bit of stretching for our lower body, our calves, because we did all that jumping around. So we're gonna start off with that one, taking a lunge, hands on the wall, leaning into that front leg to produce that nice stretch down the back of that lower calf. 30 to 60 second hold on each side. And again, one set is better than no set, as always. But if you have time, or if you can make time, then you can complete anywhere between 1 to 4 rounds of these stretches, these 3 movements I'm going to show you. So this is the first one. Again, 30 to 60. Switch sides. You can also count your breaths. Simply just take about 10 nice deep breaths in this position if you don't have a timer handy. That's the first one. Second one's for our chest and shoulders. Ideally, we want a door frame, which I don't have access to, but I do have this nice corner here, which I can put both my hands on, which is going to give me that similar or same opening stretch through the front side here. It's going to feel really good after all the stuff we did, as well as it's going to help us promote better posture because it's opening up that front side. So if you don't have this wall, or if you don't want to put your hands on the wall, find something to put your hand on. And then what you can do is turn your body away. Again, 30 to 60 on this side, 30 to 60 on the other. And we have one more for your back. Did all that rowing, all those back exercises. What we want to do is find something to hold on to. It can be a door frame, your TRX handles, bookcase, something like that. Feet are on the floor, and we're going to rock our hips back, falling away, getting that nice opening stretch down through our lats. 30 to 60. Breathing into the stretch. Again, you can complete this as a circuit, doing as many rounds as you would like, as many rounds as you have time for, tongue twister, and then you are done. So there you go. Go stretch it out, and I will see you, not again, but rather next day, tomorrow, for our full body conditioning day. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining in, and I will see you next time.